First, fast, accurate. With Jennifer Copeland and Rick Shutt. You're watching WSBT 22 News at 6.
We start with a weather alert. The WSBT 22 storm trackers are watching another round of lake effect snow that could cause some problems.
That's right. A winter weather advisory goes into effect tonight at 11, but an hour before that, we're talking about a travel ban for oversized semis that'll be put in place on the toll road between Valparaiso and Elkhart East, and that's because of predicted heavy and blowing snow.
Let's get right to WSBT 22 meteorologist Matt Rudkin. And Matt, the morning commute may not be an easy one.
Yeah, it's going to be a little slick, especially for the typical lake effect areas. You all know how this works, and if you're new to the area, welcome. You're going to learn very quick how lake effect snow works. Purple colors here, purple shaded counties indicates where the winter weather advisory is in effect. That's Cass and Berrien in Michigan, LaPorte, Stark, Marshall, St. Joseph in Indiana. So if you're watching from Elkhart, Kosciuszko, Fulton's, Pulaski or LaGrange counties, likely not going to see too much, if any, out of this, which is typical for a lake effect snow event. Here's satellite radar imagery. Here comes some of the snow. This is the beginning of what will likely be one, maybe two solid lake effect bands that will set up tonight, last through much of tomorrow. Here's your forecast for the rest of the evening. Just a few flurries expected all across Michiana. So temperatures actually fall through the evening into the low 20s when you join us again for WSBT News at 11. Coming up, we'll talk about that snow. I'll let you know how much to expect in your hometown. We'll time it up hour by hour for you. And even, at least in my opinion, a more important story is the bitterly cold air coming this weekend. It's dangerous cold, could break records. And when you break records in mid-February, you know it's a big, big deal. We'll talk about that. Everything in less than 10 minutes.
Matt, thanks. We'll see you in just a bit. New buildings, new jobs, and new growth in South Bend. FedEx Ground is the latest company to announce a massive distribution center on the city's northwest side.
It's just one of many projects in that area. WSBT 22's Kelly Stopczynski is looking into what it all means for you. And Kelly, new buildings often mean new jobs.
Usually the case, Jennifer, but FedEx says the new building will replace an existing FedEx facility in our area, so those workers will move to the new hub. A company spokesman says it's too soon to say how many, if any, new jobs we'll see, but the city says it's continuing a strong momentum for growth.
Work on the new $15 to $25 million FedEx distribution hub is already underway. It'll be the third building in what's called a Ameriplex at Interstate 8090, just north of South Bend's airport. A FedEx Ground spokesman says the company chose this site because of a strong local community workforce for recruiting employees and its location near the US 31 and Indiana Toll Road interchanges.
That allows companies to transport east, west, north, and south. It also allows them to pull from a much larger labor pool than if they were 10 miles away from that interchange.
The vice president of development at Holiday Properties, the company developing that area, won't name names, but says we could see more distribution and manufacturing companies at Ameriplex soon.
We have some others that we are in the pipeline, and we certainly hope will be coming out of the ground in the near future.
You're going to see literally hundreds of jobs coming to the area, and as this really builds to fruition.
There's also a plan to create space that would attract a new business before that company ever signs on the dotted line.
Last year with the former A.J. Wright facility, at one point there were as many as 7 companies vying to get into that space. So there's a real demand, a pent-up demand for space that meets the demands of modern contemporary companies.
The city and Holiday want to build a spec building in this cornfield to create that space and new jobs.
FedEx says the new 200,000 square foot distribution center should be finished in May 2016. The company is building the new plant as part of a nationwide expansion to increase its daily package volume, capacity, and speed up its ground delivery network. Rick?
Kelly, thanks. It's possible you could still see 2 names on the primary ballot this May, even though both candidates want to drop out of their respective races. South Bend mayoral candidate David Frank and South Bend Common Council candidate Wayne Curry filed paperwork yesterday after challenges surfaced on both of their residencies. But the deadline to withdraw has already passed. The county election board will meet next week on those challenges. Depending on what the board decides, Frank and Curry could face legal ramifications if found in violation of election law for filing outside of their jurisdictions.
The start of this year's I-STEP test is about 2 weeks away, but Indiana Governor Mike Pence says he is still confident officials will make changes to shorten that test without hurting its credibility. WSBT 22's Patrick Roth has been following this story for a couple of weeks now. He's at the live desk. Parents are getting frustrated now, Patrick.
Yeah, Jennifer, it seems like we're hearing about changes to the I-STEP every day now. And this has been confusing for a couple of weeks for parents, teachers, administrators, and students. Now, last week we told you how parts of the test have more than doubled in length, and it could take more than 12 hours to finish. Now, Governor Pence said that was news to him, and he issued an executive order shortening the length of the test on Monday. But yesterday, the State Board of Education said they can't shorten the test because of state and federal requirements. And at a news conference today, Pence announced he was bringing in 2 outside experts and that he was confident that everyone could agree to make some changes to shorten the test. In the meantime, local school districts say they're ready to go.
I would say to parents that we are remaining calm through this chaos or this confusion, and that they should be assured that teachers will have their students prepared for whatever format I-STEP ends up taking.
Now, State Superintendent Glenda Ritz has called for a meeting of the State Board of Education on Friday. That's when they'll go over the various plans and decide what changes they can make to this test. At the live desk, Patrick Roth, WSBT 22 News.
Well, new at 6, a new elementary school is set to open this fall in South Bend. The Career Academy is buying the old St. Vincent de Paul Society building on Ardmore Trail. Right now, the charter school is open to students in the 5th through 12th grades. This move will allow it to expand to kindergarten through 4th. The city bought the St. Vincent de Paul building in 2011 for $732,000. Now, the Career Academy wants to buy it from the city for that same amount and is asking the Redevelopment Commission for final approval on the deal tomorrow. It would create about 20 new jobs. $500 million, it's a hard number to wrap your mind around.
It's a lot of money,
Yes.
and a lot of people are dreaming big tonight about that Powerball jackpot. It'll be announced later tonight. WSBT 22's Zach Crenshaw's live inside a gas station at Fur and Day in Mishawaka. That's where you are. So what are the lines like right now, Zach?
Well, there's been a very steady stream of people, Jennifer, over the last hour since work let off. They have both cash registers open in order to keep up with all the people buying the most popular item, that Powerball jackpot ticket, in hopes that they'll win the $500 million jackpot. Now, odds are stacked against them. You don't have a very good chance of winning, but it allows for some hope and a few hours of dreaming how you might spend the cash. The neon sign was impossible to ignore.
Heard it was 500 million. It's like, you know what? I'll take a chance.
All day, people were drawn in by that very slim possibility of millions.
This first ticket I probably bought in 3 years.
Thank you. Good luck. Nearly everyone buying a ticket has a plan, assuming, of course, that they win.
Traveling and hopefully getting my family within a small community somewhere warm where we could all live and